Hi, friends. This is Caitlin. Welcome back to Pink and Mean. Move this up a little bit. That's a little better. Welcome back to Pink and Mean's Facebook or YouTube channel, wherever you are joining from. I'm seeing everyone starting to jump into the comments. It's so nice to see you all. I'm very excited to show you this sneak peek tonight. Thank you, Virginia. I have had a day. I know I say that a lot, but I literally kind of screeched into my desk and hit go. So we're just going to go ahead and jump into it because we're here to have fun, and I'm very excited to show you some newness tonight. So let's get our overhead shot back. Little, there we go. Okay. So tonight I'm going to be using a new stamp set that is called Home Tweet Home. It's Home Sweet Home, but Tweet. And that is because it is a birdhouse themed stamp set. And it is so stinking cute. So it has a little beach house birdhouse. It has a little camper, which is what we will be using tonight. It has a little barn, the branch, lots of little sentiments, which of course have coordinating dies. And then the little birdies, some flowers, a feather, and then the little string that you can hang them from the branch. So I instantly fell in love with this stamp set. Yes, exactly, Virginia. I fell in love with that camper. I did make one card with this set already. Let me grab it. It is my blog post card for tomorrow. So when you hop in the blog tomorrow, act surprised. So I made this mini slimline with the beach house, and I popped up the little bird and did some layering and some stenciling. And so this is still the same kind of idea for what I want to do today. But we're going to go A2 and we're going to test out this camper. I have an Aunt Judy, and she has a camper that looks exactly like this. And it's like teal, and it's all the vibes. So we're going to make a little camper for Aunt Judy, and it's going to have the same kind of feeling of this card with the cloudy background. We're going to layer in some branches. We're going to do a die cut to feature the scene, and I just think that's so cute. And I like having little kind of like pair or partner cards. So for anybody that's jumping in now, this is one more look before we get started at the Home Tweet Home stamp set that comes out this Friday. I quadruple checked this time. So I feel good about telling you guys that. And yeah, so the images that I stamped that camper, I stamped the little bird in the nest, and then we have two branches. I kind of want to do that same idea where we're gonna kind of layer them. Then I have our main scene. Instead of doing the mini slim, I grabbed one of the wide stitched arches, the second biggest one. And so it has that really cute little stitching detail on the edge. That is what we're going to build our scene onto. And to make our background, I grabbed a tried and true cloudy day stencil. We're going to use the borders this time again, to go around to kind of work our way down our panel to create our cloudy sky for our background. And I have an A2 side folding card base and some pebble cardstock. I also grabbed some extra pebbles so that we can stamp out our sentiment and cut it with the coordinating die. And because I screeched in last minute, these are not die cut. So we will be able to die cut everything all at once. That is the plan. So let's go ahead and get started. I think we will start by ink blending our stenciled image. Of course, all of my printer paper is not where it should be. Okay, we'll use this one. This is just a piece of printer paper that I've been using when I die cut my white cardstock to make sure that it doesn't get like some. And we're going to use Lakeside ink, which is beautiful. It's like the perfect summer sky teal kind of color. And because I have a limited number of my mini ergonomic brushes, I am going to use a bigger blending brush from Simon Says Stamp. And I like to mask over the extra clouds just because it makes me nervous to try to blend and stay in those lines. So I'm just taking some full stick Post-it notes. And I think we're only going to need like this top corner anyway. So we're going to tap off the brush. I want these to be nice and light. These aren't storm clouds. They're sunny sky clouds. This top layer can have a little more color because in theory, this is the sky kind of above the clouds. But overall, I still want to create a very light, kind of fluffier feeling background. And you can see when you're blending from the edge, it doesn't even really look like there's color there. But when you move your stencil, you can see how really dramatic it is. So let's rotate it a little bit. Someone back up the stencil. As of course we did. And I love this stencil because you get so much variation all in one place. So this is going to kind of give us that zoomed in feeling, like we're really looking really close into that tree, because we'll have the sky in the background and then the branches up in the front. That went a little heavy, but I think that's okay. I think we're going to be able to cover that with a branch. I think that's good. And then we'll just add a little bit of ink from the bottom. I'm going to use another full stick Post-it on my hand to keep everything safe. My fingers already got some ink on them, I think. All right, and just like that, we have our background scene started. Those really happy little wispy clouds. That. Okay, let's go ahead and get this all ready. I'm going to take my Easy Squeeze liquid glue, frame out my base panel. Oh, my aunt's here too. My other aunt. I have a bunch of aunts. My Aunt Wendy's watching. Hey, Aunt Wendy. We're gonna make like a little Florida vacation camper. Since you're down there so close to Pink and Maine too. All right. I wanted to kind of do the same thing on this card that I did on my mini slimline. So I'm going to attach this panel down flat. We'll attach everything else flat and pop up our bird again, because I really love how it helps that bird kind of be the star of the show and not get lost in all of our other elements. Okay, just double checking that that's opening the right way. Looks pretty good. All right, we'll set that to the side and let's do some Copic coloring. Let's go 30s for our tree today. We'll go ahead and put this down as my little Copic coaster. There we go. Okay, so I'm starting with E39 for my shadow, and I purposefully stamped my branches in two opposite directions. So we're going to put all of our shadows on the bottom, and that way one can be coming in from one way, one the other, and it makes sense that the shadows are the same. You could obviously stamp them going the same direction and then just mentally remind yourself to switch them. But sometimes it's easier if I just go ahead and stamp them how I want them to look in the end. And I don't even have to think about it. So I'm underlining everything. Starting to use Olos. I haven't used Olos yet, but it is on my to-do list just because I think I've heard a lot about there being kind of some color gaps in Copic that seem to be kind of fixed, solved in Olos. But I have invested so much in my Copics that I can't justify like kicking them to the curb completely. So I'm not positive what I'm going to do, but I do want to at least try them out and see how it goes. So I'm also adding in just some lines just to start giving kind of that bark texture. I'm going to jump all the way to the E35 and kind of slowly fill in the image from there, kind of pulling out that 39. But I'm taking extra care to leave that highlight space on the top because I really want my lightest shade to be able to pop there and create a really beautiful highlight. Oh, they refill them for you? That's fun. I have a different aunt that lives in Sarasota. Isn't that so fun? I promise I'm not making that up. She's not the one with the camper or Aunt Wendy. All right, so that was 33. So we did 39, 35, and 33. Let's grab a really fun, bright, leafy. Let's do YG09. And I'm going to keep the leaves really simple. We're just going to be emphasizing that main center stem. I'm going to do one tree at a time. And then we're going to come in with the YG03 to blend that. I want there to be enough blending and variation that they look like they belong, but they are not the star of the show. So I don't feel the need to do like 3 or 4 colors on them. They're just, the leaves are just supporting actors today. Oh, repaired and filled. I've had so many issues with caps. If Olo could promise me that their caps are never going to have an issue again, I would slowly start to replace because honestly, it's been kind of a headache. Just really quickly knocking these leaves out. I think, I don't know why. I get that farms are very active in the spring and summer, but the farm birdhouse makes me want to make these like fall leaves and do like a fall farm and like find a pumpkin stamp from somewhere else and add it to the birdhouse. Maybe we'll do that one another time. All right, let's get our bird colored. Let's go 40s. really light 40s because I want it to, well, not that one. I want it to stand out against the branch. I'm going to create some shadow shading under the bird and some just little, like almost treating it like hair, like bangs. Fluffing that kind of out. My last one is going to be the E40, which will just kind of soften everything up a little bit. And I loved how my bird came out last time. So let's do that same idea. So we're going to go, actually, let's not start with red. Let's start with the blues. I think I did, this might not be exact, but it'll be close enough. B05. This is not an atomically correctly colored bird. I'm throwing that out there right now. I'm not a bird expert, as we know from the chicken lessons you all gave. So, Mary, these are from the new stamp set that one of the new stamp sets that's coming out on Friday. These are the home tweet home images. And so you get 3 different birdhouses, 3 different birds, the branch, and then sentiments that come with the coordinating dies. So that is what we are using today. Giving you guys a good sneak peek for Friday. And the design team over on the blog is working on sneak peeks all week. So if you want to see even more, we'll do something else new on Thursday here too. But if you guys want to see even more sneak peeks, that's the place to be. So we went B05, B02. We're going to jump down now to B01. I emphasize the lines in the tail and the wing. And then otherwise, it's just kind of darker shades on the outside, lighter shades through the center. Let's give her beak a little color. Wire 16. We'll go in with some wire 12. Just a little color. And then her belly, we're going to do R29 on the bottom part where it's touching the nest. We're going to jump to R27. And then my lightest is going to be a R24. Hey, Pam. Thanks for checking in. All right, and then bird's eyes are closed, so they don't get an eye highlight. And I think I want to bring in some of these fun colors on that banner and the curtains. But first, I really want to give this trailer some love. And I think I still do want to go with teal because I think it'll still pop against the background enough. So I'm thinking BG49. So we get a really good, deep, contrasting pop on the outside and the bottom edge. And then we'll go on the top part of this little edging overhang and along the top. Oh, and I'll add a little shading just to one side of the door, even though it doesn't open. And I'm going to jump up to BG23. Hey, Vicky. Yes, you can use any alcohol markers. The colors might be different, but the technique in general is very similar across any Copic brand, or sorry, any alcohol marker brand. So I started off working with Spectrum Noir markers, and then slowly over time switched over to my Copics and kind of replacing as I went. But when I craft with my kids, I use alcohol markers from Five Below. And I'm not saying that they're exactly the same, but you can still definitely blend with them. The alcohol content is what's making the difference there as far as getting a good blend. And really good paper helps. So I'm just really working that color. It's a pretty big jump from the 49 to the 23. So I just really like to kind of overlap those areas to make sure that I get a really smooth transition. I also feel like these kinds of birdhouses are usually like painted or hand painted. So if it's not perfect, I'm also not going to really sweat it at this point. I'm going to go in with my lightest shade, which is the BG11, which is again a big jump. But if we just kind of take our time, I kind of use that banner there to my advantage. So now I don't really have to worry about how that blends into the top portion. I just have to worry about the bottom. I love that. It's so fun. So my paper of choice is the Copic Express It paper, and I have used that paper with other non-Copic branded markers, and I love it. It's the only alcohol marker paper that I personally use now. And it's been that way for over a year. You can get it from a couple different craft supply places. You can also find it on Amazon. I want to do silver metal accents. So I'm thinking we go cool grays. That makes sense to my brain with this. I'm worried if I try to go like warm or gold that it'll just look yellow. So we're going to add a little gray to all of the kind of like accessory pieces. I guess it's that I don't want a gray. I don't want a gray door. Maybe a yellow door because I had so much yellow in that other, in the beach card. I don't want yellow metallic accents, but I don't mind a yellow door. Oh, thank you, Vicki. I color almost every day. I'd say at least 5 days a week. And I've been doing that for, look, I forgot that whole side. At least 2 years. And I dabbled before then. So it's definitely been taken some practice, but I am very happy with kind of where my coloring has gotten to. There's also still more that I want to learn. So I love doing like coloring classes and watching other people's videos and trying out new techniques. I think it's important to never stop trying to learn new stuff. I'm working my way through some W markers for the kind of birdhouse hole. I just like to keep that really dark, but I don't want to do solid black. So we did W9, W8, and W7. All right, let's do a yellow door. And then we'll do the other like the other colors for the curtains and the banner, the pennants. That tire needs to be done too, huh? Let's go Y19 to Y15. And then let's go here. You know what? I'm going to grab one of the 30 markers that I used on that branch earlier, that 35, because this would be that little foot stand, the little peg that comes out for the birds to rest on. That would probably be wood. Let's grab another, go back to our W9. And I am going to do just a solid on this tire, a solid dark gray. Go. All right, I'm going to grab the same blue markers from earlier, the B05. You know what, they're so small, let's just do one. We'll just do B05. I'm going to do every other. And then let's do green on the banner to match our leaves. And we'll do red curtains. This part does not match Aunt Judy's in case she watches this later and she's like, that's crazy colors. I think it's fun. She might not agree. Just go in with a W1 to color inside. Again, in my brain, these would be painted, and that wouldn't actually be glass. Somebody would have just painted it white. And then so we'll do the little awning and the curtains to match. So I don't really think they need to be separate. Same as the bird. We're going with R29, then to R27, kind of making a U on that little awning. And then R24 is my light shade. Okay. Here we go. There is our happy little camper. That's funny. And our branches and our little bird. So let's stamp out a sentiment and then we can just die cut everything all at once. I'm thinking so tweet of you. I want to change it up a little from the other one that I did. I do want to use the coordinating dies on this set. Thanks, Keaton. But I am going to stamp this with the Lakeside ink, so you can actually see it. So tweet of you, and I'm just trying to barely tap my ink onto my paper. Good. Extra ink off. And then we will grab our dies. Thank you so much, Erna. I really appreciate that. I love Copic coloring. Well, I love alcohol marker coloring. It is my favorite part of card making by far. Let's see, I think it's this one. So tweet of you. Oh, guys, I've been having some serious nail issues. So if you notice that my nails look a lot different than they have been, let's just pretend you didn't, okay? I know I brought it up, but I'm probably going to end up doing a story time about it over on my channel at some point. I'll let you guys know. It's been kind of a nightmare. All right, so tweet of you. That in a nice little scrap bin. I don't know if I've told you guys, but I have this bin up here by my head, and these are all of my like tiny, it's not all of my scraps, but this is where I put all of my scraps while I'm crafting until it overflows and falls out and hits me in the head. And then I know it's time to put them in there, my scrap bin. Seems like a good system, right? And I don't know about you guys, but I love that with Pink and Mane, I don't have to um, worry about like magnetic sheets or anything for my dies, my coordinating dies. They already have the like strips of adhesive. So I know when there's a dog here, when I do my, when I go to put my dies back, I know that they're going to stay in place and I know exactly where they need to go in kind of like my lineup, which is lovely. I'm going to trim my extra branch down just because my die cutting plates are gross and I don't want my cardstock to get junky when I push it through if it's not being die cut. So tree branch, tree branch, nesty bird. Just that sentiment. I'm gonna just die cut this over the floor for a second. Bear with me. One day in my dreams, I'll have a bigger workspace, work surface, and I can die cut up there. But it's just too much. See what I mean? You can just so quickly pop all of these dies back into place because you have the outline ready to go. I feel like I save on magnet strips and packaging and all kinds of stuff. It's good that we have this turned out a little crooked. One more pass and then we will start assembling our scene. And normally I do like to do like fully Copic colored scenes, but I just know that like for most people and for easy, like not even easy, for a quicker card, being able to like make that ink blended background for all of your scene elements to go onto is just so much easier, so much faster. And skies are my least favorite thing to Copic color. So anytime I can get away with coloring in or like ink blending in my background instead of coloring it, I will. Right? The dyes fit so perfect, right? Even that one that's a little off still looks great. Okay, so I am thinking, here's a bottom one. I kind of want one branch coming from off the card. I guess that would be the one that has our birdhouse hanging down from it. And then I want one branch coming from the bottom that has our little nesting bird on it. That's what I was thinking anyway. Maybe it should be the other way around. Maybe we need two uppers. Yeah, let's do like that. I like that. And then our so tweet of you can go right in there. We need that to hang a little bit so you can tell it's a little birdhouse. It's okay if he hangs off the edge, I think, too. And we can trim that one right off the side. So let's start with our birdhouse. Get that into place. And the stamp set does come with like a little ribbon kind of image that you can use to kind of show that it's hanging. It's this one right here. It's kind of like a little bow on a string, so you can show it kind of hanging down. But I think I'm just gonna like draw mine in with a marker, with like a pen. Stamping that right at this moment feels very risky, so I'm gonna take that as a sign. We're gonna do this at a little bit of an angle. We'll come back and do our bird with foam in a second. And I'm gonna trim my branch off of the side of my card. So I do add adhesive all the way up, just so that I know that it is adhered well where it's supposed to be. And then from the back, I'm just going to snip that off. I went snip happy. Just like that. And this guy down flat too. Our so tweet of you. That looks pretty straight. Go me. I know. I hear you, Julianne, and they do, but if they were in there, you wouldn't see it. It's artistic license. I have Sticky McFoam Face, our trusty foam tape roll. That's not the official Pink and May name for it, by the way. That's just our name for it. And I'm just going to trim off a little bit. We have birds that have a nest in the siding of our house. So they don't even need a inside of a birdhouse. They're halfway inside my house. All right, and we're going to just pop our little bird up there. Like she's kind of just like floating on those leaves. Her little nest is just tucked into those leaves. And that is our card. So now we have these two kind of like sister cards with our sweet little birds. Oh, Mary, I love that. It's a patio nest. She's got her house nest and her patio nest. That's perfect. I love how this turned out. I think they're both really fun. I think they both scream summer, which I love. I'm ready for summer cards all the time. And I love that if you wanted to give cards as a gift, you know, a little set of these, or even with the barn and make it a little trio, would be a lovely gift to give to someone with the coordinating envelopes. So I love this. For anybody that joined in late, let me show you this new stamp set one more time. This is the Home Tweet Home stamp set and coordinating dies that comes out on Friday. So we have different birdhouses. We use two of them in our cards. We still have that barn one. You get the little birds, the branch, and lots of cute sentiments that have coordinating dies. So those are our projects for this sneak peek. I hope that you guys are excited. There's even more absolutely adorable newness coming on Friday. So I will get to work on planning and plotting what we will do on Thursday. And I promise whatever it is, it's going to be fun because we all need that, I think. So thank you so much for coming to hang out with me. Make sure you hit that follow or subscribe button wherever you are watching from so that you don't miss out on future Pink and Main inspiration that is coming your way. Make sure that you check the Pink and Main blog that's listed in the description of wherever you're watching, because all of the design team has been working hard on sneak peeks over there for you as well. Yeah, I think that's it for us tonight. I will see you guys back here at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on Thursday. And until then, you know the drill. Happy crafting, guys.